Right, so we are getting into day 3 of our group communication notes. Now, group communication 1 notes we did over Zoom, and I didn't like that video, so I'm going to do a quick little recap of that. A group is a collection of people with the same goal. You need at least 3 people. The size must be manageable. You also need to be able to hear and see each other at all times. You also need to be interdependent, which means that everyone in the group can depend on everyone else. We also talked about consensus, which is where everyone in a group agrees, and then the different types of group. We have peer groups, purposive groups, social groups, and factional groups. Okay, factional groups would be like the Senate. Peer groups would be like a group of students here at school. Purposive group would be like the Supreme Court or the Avengers, and a social group is like a Discord party or whatever you guys talk about in group chats or whatever. So we covered that, and then yesterday you guys covered the notes on your own, and it goes through the process of group work. The first stage is the forming stage. That's where the group comes together. Then they have a lot of conflicts. That's the storming stage. Then they establish rules and figure out how to kick people out if they don't follow the rules. That's the norming stage. Then they perform whatever task it is. And then we have the adjourning stage, which is where they're done with their task and they split up. We also talk about how task dimensions measure how they're doing on the task, and social dimensions measure how they view each other. But today we're talking about group roles. And no, I'm not talking about the 6-pack you get from Bush's Chicken. Okay, I'm not talking about those kind of group roles. I'm talking about ROLES, not ROLLS. So the group roles, these are labels placed on individuals based on their function within a group. Okay. However, in the land of communication, there are 12. How many, Matt?
12.
Thank you, Matt. 12 specific groups depending on certain situations. Now, of course, when you're on the football team, there's a running back, there's a center, there's a quarterback, there's the coach, there's the linebacker, there's all those people, right? So those are just like label roles to specific situations. You're at the pool, there's the lifeguard, there's the towel person, there's the pool cleaner, there's all that. Those are roles that we have. My role is a teacher, but I also have other things that I do when I'm a part of a group. So we're going to cover these 12 roles right now. So first we have task roles. These includes all roles that are focusing on a group assignment. Then we have relational roles. This focuses primarily on building and maintaining relationships and connections with other people. And then we have individual roles, and this is when individuals focus on self-achievement and not group efforts. So most of these can be applied to a lot of different situations. And in the case of the next couple of days, we're going to see how they apply to things that we pay attention to all the time. First, let's talk about task roles. So again, these are roles that are specifically tailored for if you are working on a group task together, okay? So the first person is the evaluator or critic. So I like to call this person the leader, but they're not necessarily always the leader. I feel like everyone is leading a certain thing. It's the job of the evaluator and critic to figure out, okay, is this our best work? Is the person that I gave their role to doing what they're supposed to be doing? And how can we improve upon those things? Okay, so it's the evaluator critic's job to figure out if you guys are putting your best foot forward as a group, if the task is getting done properly in that regard. Then we have the coordinator. The coordinator is the person that makes sure that everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're the ones that know when the task is completed, and they're the ones that kind of know what needs to be done for the task. So once you guys get started and I'm walking around the classroom and checking on you to make sure you're doing your work, that's me coordinating. I'm making sure that everyone is fine. Okay. If I'm ever jumping into someone's assignment, I'm helping them, that's me coordinating. The next one is the opinion giver. Now this one, it has a dark side and a light side to it. So a dark side opinion giver will only just criticize the group and never produce anything, and they won't really add anything to it. They're like, no, that's trash. No, we shouldn't do that. No, it's not going to work. No, that's goofy. No, that'll be cringy. I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. And so the opinion giver is good because hopefully they can get the group back on task, but a bad opinion giver can completely derail everything because they just don't want to do anything. But the opinion giver can also, in certain instances, kind of be a mini version of the evaluator critic where they can say, well, I think we should do this, and then we should kind of go from there. So they communicate with the coordinator to make sure everyone is doing their job. You're all whack. Remember, if you're going to call everyone whack, Matt, use the right version of your. But in the case of this, the last one is the information seeker. The information seeker, it is their job to basically get information. If you're doing a research project, you're finding credible sources. If it's something specific, you are trying to find the useful information that will help your group complete the task. So, what does Ned say in Spider-Man: Homecoming? You need a guy in the chair. I can be your guy in the chair. That's what an information seeker is. Okay. Um, let's talk about relational roles now, though. So this one you'll probably see with like your family or your friend groups or just like people that you're really close with. So first you have your encourager. It is their job to keep you happy and motivated throughout the entire process, right? So it's the job of the encourager to make sure that that's working. Mr. Smith, the encourager can't be in every place at the same time. So what if someone is sad? What if there's conflict in the group? Well, that's the harmonizer's job. Okay, so the encourager brings you up, but the harmonizer keeps you peaceful, keeps you at like equilibrium, if that makes sense. In a lot of instances, as far as a teacher goes, I feel like I am probably doing the harmonizing the most. I think that a teacher can do all of these at the same time, but for the most part, I'm harmonizing. I'm making sure that everything is staying peaceful in whatever group that I am in. Then we have the compromiser. The compromiser, it's their job to find the conflict, figure out how to solve the conflict, and do it in a way that is going to make sure that everyone is happy. Mr. Smith, what's the difference between the compromiser and the harmonizer? The harmonizer keeps the peace. The compromiser figures out why there is no peace. Okay. And then the last one we have is the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper, it's their job just to kind of make sure that if there's any sensitive information in the group, that it does not get out. Okay. Because there are some groups that they're secret groups. Okay. And so it's the gatekeeper's job to make sure that that information does not get out. Okay. Um, where is it? Last one. The individual roles. Okay, so I like these because there's a dark side and a light side to all of these. The recognition seeker on the light side. Okay. Hey, I'm Mr. Smith. I'm really good at doing all my work. I'm an all A student. I'm glad you put me in a group with all of these plebes because I'm going to just do all of my work and I'm going to show them how smart I am. I'm going to show you how smart I am and how good I am at completing tasks. Mr. Smith, aren't you proud of me? Yes, I am proud of you. So these people, they want the praise. They want people to say, hey, you're doing a really good job. And then so by doing that, they can perform better on the task. However, the dark side of the recognition seeker is when they decide to take credit for everything, even though they might not have done anything. Okay. So that's how the recognition seeker works. Then we have the dominator. The dominator, it's interesting because they're more along the lines of, hey, you have to do this and you have to do it nice. And they can either say that nicely or they can say it in a mean manner. Okay, so you guys might have heard of carrot or stick, which is like how you discipline an animal. So if you give them the carrot, that's positive reinforcement. If you give them the stick, that's negative reinforcement because you hit them with the stick, right? So in the case of the dominator, you can do either carrot or stick. You are basically getting people in your group to do things, but you're deciding if you're going to do it in a nice way or in a mean way. Then the dark side of the dominator, that is just someone that is very bossy and just walks over the entire group assignment. Then we have the Joker, which the light side of this, I like light side Jokers because they keep the group smiling, they keep the group happy, they keep it very, very positive. Society, exactly. We live in a society. Bottom text. But in the case of this, the Joker on the dark side, that's someone that's just always cracking jokes and keeps the entire group distracted so that no work gets done. Okay, but there is a positive Joker where we can keep everyone positive, and it will essentially basically keep the group moving. Hey, hey, I like it. Changing up the spelling, man. I appreciate you. Yes, we are essentially learning stereotypes for certain group roles. And so, now that we're learning these, you guys will be able to apply these to other things like The Office, like any TV show you ever watched that features a group, the Teen Titans, Scooby Doo, the Ninja Turtles. All of them have certain group roles that we're going to do, and we're actually going to do an assignment with that later on at the end of the week. But it'll be really, really fun to kind of look and see how that will work. But those are the different types of group roles. So we have the recognition seeker, the dominator, the joker, and the withdrawer when you're talking about individual tasks. In relational roles, the encourager, the harmonizer, the compromiser, and the gatekeeper. And then with specific task roles, we have evaluator, critic, coordinator, opinion giver, and the information seeker. So that will conclude our notes on group communication for today.